What is up, guys and girls? Hurricane Liz here, and this time around we've got some fantastic KDP questions. So anything you've ever wanted to know about KDP, I've got some smart ladies, some smart gentlemen that have asked those questions here. So you guys asked for it. We're gonna do it all KDP today, all those questions. Let's do this. All right, so this first question from Vladimir says, it's great tips, Liz. Somehow I was coming to the same conclusion after several months of using Amazon ads. It's great to see confirmation from more experienced users. Thanks a lot. One thing I noticed is that I've stopped judging my campaigns solely on the ads panel data. I don't know how many organic sales have the ads triggered, so I just look at the royalties for this book at the end of the month and compare them with ad spend to see whether it's viable to continue with ads. In terms of ACOS, I now tolerate anything below 50% for the reason mentioned above. What do you think of this? Well, Vladimir, to be honest, I think you're doing a fantastic job. You see, most sellers will not be able to tolerate that 50% threshold because they're looking to turn profitable on ads, whereas they might be making a gigantic mistake. Now, keep in mind, this does depend on your budget, the amount of money you want to devote to the book, and what your goals are with this book. But the biggest mistake I see most KDP sellers make is cutting off the ads when they have a ton of organic sales. Now, in most cases, this will also stop your organic sales because you see ads put fuel to the fire when it comes to organic sales. So I think you're doing a tremendous job. And as I told you, at my actual $13,000 per ticket mastermind, a $50 million seller said pretty much outright he looks to lose as much money as possible on ads because in turn that increases his actual organic sales. So Vladimir, tremendous job. I think you're doing the right thing. Good job. All right, so the next question is from Cobra Cho, who says, great stuff. I'm glad you're feeling back 100%. You should have also talked about how your money was withheld from the whole poker situation. Most people wouldn't have bounced back from that so easily. Wait, yes, truth be told, I do have a sob story, and you guys would probably find it pretty crazy to actually believe that the government and all the poker sites withheld an obscene amount of money from me, yet I was still able to bounce back despite the fact that I had no money coming in. I basically had all my assets frozen, and I was living in a gigantic, enormous house with a bunch of nice cars, and you can imagine. So, but at the end of the day, I realized that I had my family, I had my friends, and I had what I have in here, all that I've learned in here, which is all that I pass on to you guys. So no matter what your situation is, no matter how desperate you're feeling, no matter how much you think you've hit rock bottom, trust me, there's somebody always has a worse situation than you. And yes, you can bounce back as long as you peel yourself up off the ground. So I believe in each and every one of you, and I think you too can do whatever it is you put your mind to, which is the words that my grandma, who's now wherever she is with the angels or whoever you believe in, gave me once when I was a kid, and as a result of that, now I believe I can do anything. In fact, I think I could even fly, right? All right, so the Caring Family says, Liz, you are the James Bond of Amazon. It's cool to see how deep undercover you dig into the big seller. Jade Summer plays KDP smart. Savvy folks watching this video will no doubt implement what JS does. On a side note, in a recent video, you mentioned something about obtaining an exclusive hard-to-find report on actual keywords used by another successful brand. Awesome. Yes, I have that coming. I hope that I'll be able to toss up a video either this week or next week on that actual topic to show you guys the real nitty-gritty in which keywords are driving sales. I'm not talking about guesstimates. I'm not talking about the lame search volume that most tool gives us. I'm talking about the real nitty-gritty, what words are actually getting sales on Amazon, which words are causing them, and I will show you that and a heck of a lot more. So I look forward to that video as well, Caring Family. KS says, how profitable is KDP compared to other things on Amazon, for example, private label or online arbitrage? Do you know anybody who's making a lot of money selling on Amazon KDP? Truth be told, KDP is possibly not the actual best thing to start. If you've got a good chunk of change in your pocket, I highly recommend private label FBA. But again, I do recommend you have a chunk of change if you start private label FBA. However, KDP, when you don't have a budget or you have no money whatsoever, it's a fantastic model to start because it is easily just a game of numbers when you're broke. So I do recommend KDP for broke people, especially if they're willing to learn how to do the graphic arts part and all that good stuff. But I do not recommend it if you have no artistic ability or nor do you desire to learn that. Then I recommend you do something else. If you're selling on KDP, how many books do you usually have to create before making decent money? I read about people who create hundreds of books, but only 10 or 20 of them sell. Yes, that is correct. Again, when you're playing the game of numbers, you sometimes have to pump out as many books as you possibly can just in order to raise money to get sales. As you get better and as you discover niches that you actually do well in, then you can go in and scale in those and do a heck of a lot better. It's a game of numbers and a game of time. So you have to put a lot of time, energy, and effort into it, especially if you're starting with no budget whatsoever. All right, Algerian Eagle asks, I was doing research the other day in Amazon Canada and I found the book with the fake cover, the one with the boobs. He is selling well, but I can't imagine how disappointed the man that will receive that book and open it to find it's just a lined notebook with no boob pictures. Obviously, Algerian Eagle, I can't imagine either. I saw that book, and the book he's referring to is, I will throw a screenshot of it in here somewhere, but it was a book about boobs and a book that was a gag gift for Christmas where somebody just slapped a pair of boobs on the actual cover, but inside it was all a lined notebook and plain as the Jane on the actual cover. So of course, a guy would be completely disappointed. I don't understand why they did that either, and I'm surprised that they actually have some good reviews, as if I got that as a gift, I would have probably given it a bad review. I would have said, what the hell? There was just a picture on the cover. This is a tease. All right, so let's go to the next one. Callie says, this is such great info, Liz. Not sure how you build clout or how you offer a discount unless you actually lower your price on KDP. I use a similar site to go for free promos and it worked well, but got banned. Looking forward to hearing more about this. Callie is referring to Slick Deals and other sites like that. The way that you actually do it with the KDP book is you just lower your price. So like typically, let's say you put your book high and you started off really high, like at $9.95, and then you lower it to the actual break-even point, whatever that might be for your actual book. And then you go over to Slick Deals and you have somebody post it for you. Now, you can look for these third-party services. I have seen them on Fiverr, but I do know that a lot of people offer this, and that's how you have somebody post the actual listing. You don't do it yourself because you have to build clout over time, so you slowly have to be able to do that. There is a button in order for you to be able to submit your own Slick deals, but I recommend you hire a third party. Now, that's just Slick Deals. Other sites, you could start building clout on your own and submit deals that you find elsewhere in order to gain the respect of the community, and then sometimes shift yours in. That's what the really big companies like Anchor do. They have employees dedicated to this, to do this all non-stop, day after day. All right, Heather asks, how do you get social proof? I know when I buy things off of Amazon, I would never take the time to go back and post a review. Is there a way people are asking for reviews? Yeah, Heather, it's usually called bribing the hell out of them. And it pretty much means that you'll tell them that you will reimburse them for purchasing your product, and in turn, usually they'll leave you a review. A lot of times they can't because of the fact that their buyer trust score is so wrecked, because they're leaving reviews for everything. But every now and then you will get somebody that will be able to leave you a review and in turn help push up your social rank. But that's about the only way the big sellers are doing, which is bribing the actual customer. However, in the future, that's going to become increasingly difficult. So it's always important to try and actually push people to an external site like Jade Summer is, because once you get their email, you can be really sneaky and you can ask for a review there, which is awesome. All right, Vivi asks, hey Liz, great vid. Can you talk about your experience with graphic artists, your favorite YouTube channels when you learn about all these adult AI, EPS, horrible things? I'm no graphic designer and there's many content on the web. Well, unfortunately, I'm a terrible graphic designer and I do not choose to use it. So when I actually look online, I look at something that I think I look at somebody that I watch one of their videos, and if they explained it pretty easily and I can understand, then I'll watch more of their videos. But truth be told, I rarely do this as I outsource most of the work. I have done a couple videos where I tried Fiverr, and I will be doing one in the future where I try Fiverr once again for cover designs as well as book designs. So I will show you guys the results of actually trying Fiverr myself. All right, Natalia says, hi Liz, love your videos. My question might sound weird, but how are you able to give a discount on Slick Deals for book published through KDP? Again, Natalia, I would take a look at Fiverr. There's a lot of people offering those services, but there are also third-party sites other than on Fiverr that offer this as a service. You can definitely start there to look for them. And like I said in the video, I have not tested this myself. However, I have seen many books that are available on Slick Deals and all the other deal sites that are doing the very same thing that I described in the actual video. So hope that helps. All right, we got Mr. Daily Wealth. Amazing, Liz. I've not heard of this site. Not sure how to make it work with KDP. As always, cutting edge research. On another note, I have a book that ranks in the top 25 as a subcategory. This is a book that he spent way too much on it ads wise. The ACOS is bad, but that's fine. The real problem is out of the 25 books, there are only actually 12 that relate to the subcategory. His book is 12 of that actual relate. Without too many specifics, the subcategory is farming related and the top book is on meditation. So again, that goes to show that trick that I showed in one video is a trick that many actual bookmakers are taking advantage of. But I have predicted that in the future, just like it did with FBA, that will soon get slapped the hell down. And all those people taking advantage of this, what they think is a hack, it's actually hurting them. And the reason for that is that Amazon is going to think their book is on a topic that it has nothing to be related with. So all those romance novels trying to show up in kids that have alcoholism problems is going to get wiped off, and they're pretty much almost going to get the ban hammer put on them. So make sure you are putting your books in the right categories. Don't get caught up in this trick of trying to go for the way to make fast profits. Do what Mr. D did and be the only person in the category, or one of the half of the only people in the category, that when the ban hammer comes down, you're going to be pretty darn happy. All right, Foasim. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but Foasim says, thank you, Liz. Great content. I like how you speak. Very spontaneous. It feels like you're talking to a friend rather than making a video. Very helpful. Keep it up. You are welcome, sir. And I do feel like I'm talking to friends because I consider each and every one of you friends, right? So thank you, Fosim. All right, Mr. D again. I love Mr. D. Jade Summer is the only brand of Fritzen Publishing. Alexander Kennedy is a biography and history book brand owned by Fritzen Publishing. The Jade Summer trademark brand was established in 2019. LLC was formed in Delaware. And let's see, Fritzen appears to have started in 2014. There have been discussions as to where they find their artists. There are current job postings in Bengaluru, Karnataka, India, and Mumbai, Maharashtra, India. I don't even know if I pronounced that right. I doubt it. I just butchered a bunch of names. Full-time pay starts at 14K USD for one position to 40K USD as a top pay for another. Actually, that's rupees. So there you have it. A perfect example of how Jade Summer is outsourcing all the actual artistic parts of their books, and they're paying people 14,000 to 40,000 rupees, which I don't know what that equals out to, but you can imagine it's not 40,000 USD. So they are finding talented artists in countries like India, outsourcing the creation of the art, because guess what? They've got the marketing down. They've got a gigantic email list. They've got a fantastic Facebook group that gets tons of interaction. They've got all the actual social media outlets you can imagine. And on top of that, they are mailing their list. So Jade Summer is making bank. If you think that any one of these things seems daunting to create, always be inspired by what Jade Summer has done, and they are probably worth many, many millions of dollars, and one day will sell for many millions of dollars because of all this hard and extra daunting work. So never find that daunting, just get out there and do it, folks. All right, Carol says, thanks so much for this vid. Gorgeous, fluffy cat and tons of motivation to get me back on track. I'm glad you said that, Carol. I'm not going to tell my cat that because her head's going to get too inflated. She already knows she's a pretty good looking cat. And I definitely don't want her strutting herself all around here because you're just going to inflate her head, Carol. But thank you very much. I'll let her know. And it looks like we're done with the questions of the week. Like I promised, all KDP related. I hope you guys learned something. I've got a heck of a lot of KDP videos coming out next week. So I hope you're fired up. I'm fired up. In questions and or comments, post them below. I always personally answer them. I'll see you guys and girls on the next video.